Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Phobos in Adamant. Friends call me Phobos, and today we will be taking a look, nay a gander, at One Finger Death Punch 2. Sequel to One Finger Death Punch, which is a game that came out many years ago. Ooh, and now there's a demo mode playing. Let me get rid of that. Yeah, it came out many years ago, and this is pretty much an iterative sequel. It's pretty much basically the same idea. I'll just take you through the options menu quickly. Pretty simple display options, pretty simple audio options. Muting announcer can be quite important. If you grow tired of him, you'll hear from him later. Control wise, there's two buttons pretty much. If you're playing single player, there's left mouse button for left attack, right mouse button for right attack, and that's pretty much it. There's also the ability to increase and decrease the manual speed of the game, which I'll come to later. You can customise your stick figure, and there's a bunch of UI, accessibility and frame rate options here that you can use. So what is One Finger Death Punch? I shall start out by quickly showing you the training. So to begin with, you have access, before you get anything else, you get access to all these levels. Each one introducing a different concept, an idea, and basically all of them revolve around clicking left and right. On the surface it doesn't sound too complicated, but it can be quite difficult to master. I'll just show you the first level and you get the idea.
Do not a button mash.
And yep, that's the most important lesson really. You can be doing not too well and still get through, but the minute you start trying to button mash through this, you die every time and you despair. So try to avoid that. As you can see up here, the manual speed can be adjusted. There's also the bonus speed, which as you do better, that increases the difficulty as you go. So you can pretty much fine tune it to where you're comfy. So the game consists of this.
You cannot move in this game. Wait for enemies to enter the zone. Attack when enemies are touching. Press the right mouse button now to attack the enemy. Your mouse cursor can be anywhere on the screen.
Yep, so right click attacks right, left click attacks left.
To approach you, fight using only the left and right mouse buttons.
And that's basically it. That's all the knowledge you need.
Perfect. Faster. Missing leaves you open to enemy attacks. Try not to miss.
Yeah, if you button mash, not always, but quite, yeah, like that, you'll get hit. If you check the top of the screen here, you can see the number of hits you've got left before you fail. And here, the number just below that is the number of enemies left in the round that you're playing. It is a very, very quick, very kinetic game.
More stars. Godly.
And it just expands from there, really. Weapons get thrown at you. You get enemies where it's like a miniature combo. You need to go out through the left and right mouse buttons. Enemies that take more than one hit, as indicated by extra bars beneath them. Enemies that swap when you hit them to the other side of the screen, so you need to hit them again. Then there's various weapons that can be blocked, thrown, catched, deflected, dodged. Then there are boss fights. I'll show you the boss fight tutorial as well, just so you get the idea. Now with added eyes. Now with eyes. Also, if you can hear it, the music in this game is fantastic. It really gets you pumped up. Good mix of kind of, standard Eastern. It's basically the greatest hits of really schlocky martial arts films. And it really matches the style very nicely.
Bosses switch between brawlers and regular enemies.
So as you can see here, this boss has multiple sorry, I find it really hard to talk, and this is about my fourth take for this video because I find it terribly difficult to actually concentrate on what I'm doing while speaking at the same time. So this is a brawler, as you can see. You have to do a combo, and these ones are switches, and that one is a double hit. And yeah, you just go on from there, listening to kick-ass music while beating up stick figures with copious amounts of blood. And trying not to suck as much as I do. And one more. Try not to die to the final one. And we got. There we go. And yes, after each one you get a star rating. It's pretty easy to get 5 stars to begin with, but as the more things get introduced and more enemies get thrown at you, that obviously gets harder. You also get funny side games, I suppose, if you will. I'll show you this one quickly. So-called mob rounds. You just get enemies thrown at you. And then a couple of extra little modes, such as like that. So basically the game revolves around not button mashing, good recognition of what an enemy is so you can best deal with it, and just timing generally.
You can only throw one projectile at a time.
It's got so much variety in such a small package, and with such a simple concept that it's quite really unbelievable. Oh, if only I didn't suck at it so much. And now I'm on a horse.
You can let the enemies live if you wish. Do not button mash.
And now I'm on a horse.
10 enemies left.
I should finish them off. And I'll show you the actual game, because this is of course all the tutorial. And it is still kicking my ass. And we're out of here.
Godly.
Okay, so that was the tutorial. Once you get through that, it's a mandatory tutorial, so you go through, you learn the rules, and then you get introduced to the skills. So these introduce power-ups, and as you move through the game, you get gems that let you increase, the amount of weapons you get when you pick up weapons. Weapons are like temporary power-ups. Extra health, your items all one hit. That's sort of standard RPG sort of stuff. And you can reset it at any time. This is what the game looks like. You get a vast array of levels to work through. There's also an endless mode. So let's have a quick look at this game. And in motion, even though it's such a simple design of just literally stick figures, there's so much beautiful fluidity, and it's such a kinetic, visceral experience just fighting through all these hordes of enemies, especially when you don't suck at it. But as we clearly found out, I suck, especially when I'm talking to you. I also suck when I'm not talking to you, but there we go. I'll use you as a human shield for now. And obviously the accessibility options let you change the colours of enemies just so it's a bit clearer. Ooh, I'm gonna die. And I'm dead. So of course I can reduce the manual speed a bit to make it a bit more manageable, so I'll just drop it down a bit. Yeah, there's really not that much more to say about it generally. It's just a fantastic game for such a small price. It's only a couple of couple of pounds, dollars, euros, your local currency here on Steam, so why not pick it up? It's a fantastic way to spend an evening. You can get home, you can get home, play a couple of levels, use it as a bit of stress relief after a hard day's work. Or, of course, you could suck and spend hours and hours trying to beat your score or even get through a level and then realise it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you've got work the next day and you've ruined your life, but hopefully not. It is just generally a fantastic experience and endless punchy fun. I can really wholeheartedly recommend it. So, yep, that's One Finger Death Punch by Silver Dollar Games. Find it on Steam.
Godly. Revenge token collected. Revenge tokens are used to complete levels.
And have a lovely day. This is Phobos and Adamant. Friends call me Phobos. Toodaloo.